Okay, Rams defense not hitting on all cylinders at this point, but we all know with Aaron Donald and the talent around them and Rams, we had these guys a couple of weeks ago, and they played extremely well against Tampa Bay and Tom Brady. This past week wasn't quite as effective. They got exposed a little bit. We'll talk about that as we go through these 10, 12 clips. And believe it or not, playing against Russell Wilson may actually slow down for him a little bit, given what Kyler Murray just did to him. So that sucker is something else. So let's take a look at it. Ramsey's still doing his thing, playing physical. Whether they'll put him on Metcalf, they don't seem wired to do that. And I don't know if they just don't want to go through all the headaches that go with having to get everybody else on the same page around him. But the one thing they can do on these traditional runs, they can clog things up and they can make it tough on you. Now, you get them in passing situations. You got the curves to run. You can trap them. You can wham them. You can take advantage of all that pass rush, and you got to block Aaron a certain way. But they can also make some plays look awfully bad, like they did in the New England game, or excuse me, the Tampa Bay game. They like to rush 4, but they'll bring 5. They'll give you some different looks in their dime package where you'll get the most of their looks, so they can confuse you. You can see Young, they're checking out of 1, getting them to turn to 41, and then coming off the other side, and they're going to get pressure in Tom's face, and they're going to come off this edge, and Aaron gets him. Ball's up in the air. Should have been a turnover. They got lucky, but their form of pressure they like the most is 5 from maybe a 6 or 7 man look. Another look at the run. Yeah, I like when, again, these traditional runs, they're pretty good at getting a little knockback. You see they're not going to let them double team him. They're just going to go ahead and take that A gap, and they get off blocks. And we're talking about how Seattle, they're going to get off blocks great. But you see a lot of improvement in defenses in weeks 3, 4, and 5 because now there's legit videotape that they can correct from. Sometimes they get a little critical in here in weeks 3 and 4, and they say, week 5 they're completely different because the right kind of guys are going to get things corrected, and the film doesn't lie. But I'll show you this just because this is. They'll give you these quarters looks, and then they're going to they'll play 3 out of it. They'll come off the slot, and they'll also play 6 strong. They'll cloud things, and they've got a nice little package on the back end. Once again, just showing pressure from one side, bringing it from the other, attacking the back. And that's Young. Young's playing like he's in a contract year, and he might be. He's playing high energy, playing physical, playing extremely well. And then they do a pretty good job matching this on the backside. Tom can't get it out. The matchup that I've been looking at now for quite a while is against Long, and I think he got exposed a little bit against Arizona. Put this in here. Just most people, when you cloud the reduced split, it'll push people down here to this side, and they may decide to cloud. It could be a cloud call, and Tom goes right at it. He throws really, they're running just an 89 combination. He just throws it over the outside shoulder. Nice job of flipping your eyes and and making a catch. Most people are going to work away from that cloud coverage. So if all of a sudden you see that, I'd look for two things with Metcalf. A, are they going to match Ramsey? B, are they going to cloud him and try to take him away? And obviously they got other ways to attack that. This is where I think it's pretty good coverage by Long, but then he can't make that play. Nice touch up and over. Gets into a cover 2 look. That's the first thing that I saw when I was watching the game live, because I don't know how big he actually is, but at times I felt like he plays little or doesn't play as big as some of the other guys. This is I put this in here again just to look at just how quick Aaron gets off the ball, how he can disrupt, and how he gets in that B gap, and now the play's got to bounce. He knocks off both pullers, and now they spill it, and then here comes Fuller, and he whacks, and then there's Young. Fuller and Young, they ain't afraid. Those two guys were playing very aggressive football. Didn't quite, they run a little 3-pump, little switch release, 3-pump, and they got A.J. Green on Long. To me, that's just a major mismatch. Tie up the free safety with the action too coming across. I would think that they'll be doing everything they can to get after 22 in this game. And I know they're nervous about putting Ramsey outside where people can just run him off, bore him to death all day. He wants to be in that nickel spot or somewhere inside where he can impact the game. I don't know that this is anything to get alarmed about. Obviously, we all seen wheel routes by running backs, but Readers played extremely well. It's a pretty good coverage. Nice throw and catch. I don't know that Seattle will have anybody that they have that can take advantage of that, but look at the middle of the field with the option or the post route. They'll see that. They'll be able to kind of spread that quarters coverage and get an isolation in there would be my guess. Put this in here just because I think Connor may have missed one. This is 444, or it's Y hunt where the tight end can hunt this, but then they run on Fuller. They come down, give him a little pump, and then they've got the seam. So my guess is, obviously the Rams saw that happen as well, but they'll probably give him some eye candy and try to get him on a pump like they had right here. But they still get a completion. And the Y hunt's a pretty good concept that attacks. You just hunt the mic, and if the void shows up, just snap it. Otherwise, cross. One thing I did want to show here is I think the Rams are one of the better teams, and they'll need to be against Seattle. Being able to, they have great get off. They do a nice job with their games and twists, and some of their audibles to be able to get a fifth guy free. But they retrace and get QBs down pretty darn good. I think Murray got around the outside, but up. If you can keep Russ in the pocket and keep him, Russ wants to get up and out, or he wants to spin out, or just get out of the pocket. But when he has to get up, then relocate. I've seen him, sometimes he'll drop his eyes. He can't see quite as well. And if you can retrace or put someone in his face, I think that'll be very effective and has been very effective. And last but not least, once again, I think down here at the bottom, critical situations, 3rd down, 3, 4, and 5. It's a lot of separation, and I see a lack of eye discipline. And people will notice all of those things. Arizona obviously had a plan, a very specific plan, matchup-wise, and you would think that Seattle would know the secondary very well and be able to get really the right matchup. And then Russ being able to get them in the right call on most downs. Matchup for sure. Sometimes the coverage, getting the right route against the right coverage. They disguise pretty good, but that would be that way the ball can come out quickly, and then you're not forced with dealing with